You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The Challenge Rivals 2 After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Challenge Rivals 2 After Show.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another our final AfterBuzz TV after show for Rivals 2, The Challenge. It's your boy DJ Jesse Janedy, joined in studio by Roxy Striar.
Hello.
Nehemiah Clark.
Hi, guys.
Unfortunately, Mark
No.
Long and Nicolette.
Get out of here.
Hi, guys.
How are you? Hi, guys.
Nicolette Gona are not here, but they're here
In spirit.
in spirit. We have Nicolette's hat.
Go
and
get some pocket protein.
buy some pocket protein.
Yeah. Any
some
athletes
dope.
out there, if you get tested for performance-enhancing drugs, don't try that. Because you're going
Is
Did
that
you
true?
just down his-
No.
to be promoting steroids.
No, we're not. Okay. Yeah. Put it under
I'm
the hat.
All right. So
Right here.
the final challenge. What did you guys think?
I honestly, I liked it, but I didn't think it was as fierce as the last two challenges have been.
Okay, Nehemiah.
I thought it was cool. I like when they set up different things for you to do, like obstacles along the way, and
That
and
was
it's not
cool.
just running.
And they did. There was a lot of variety. At least I like how every single thing was very different.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like there was that huge hill.
Right.
Like where you see like something. It all amounts to the very end with the final climb. Maybe a lot of it was because the fifth leg of this thing was going through a tunnel and popping up the other side. It seemed pretty simple. So I felt like we were building up, and then just wah wah. You know.
Well, hopefully we can get you guys your opinion too. You guys can call us at 424-256-1633. Again, that's 424-256-1633.
Because we're in this new studio.
Yes, Studio C.
Like,
Holla. All right. So back to get to the original challenge, they go to Nightmare Island. Wow, wow.
and it's a nightmare.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do it.
What?
Do you think you could have done it?
Until the eating thing.
Right.
See, that's the
I
one.
would do everything else, but the eating thing, I don't mess with that.
You can swim, you can run,
I'm
you
a
can
great
do everything.
swimmer. I'm a great runner. Yeah, but the eating.
I think I could have
absolutely
done the eating. I mean, it
Nope.
would have taken me
Well-
some time, but
You would have done the eating?
yeah, I think I really could have done it. But I've said that about a bunch of things.
You know what? The eating actually, but that drink.
No,
Nope.
with the stuff.
Yeah,
I have an
that's
issue with
true.
drinking things.
Oh,
I
you
can't
know
even
me.
drink orange juice with pulp. Like,
What?
Yeah, no.
You with things
absolutely
in it,
not.
like floating in it. That I agree
Like I
with.
just have this thing about that. I can't do it.
That I agree with. But some of them were able to just like, go like this and house it.
Like the
so
bugs, I actually recently this past weekend just ate some chocolate covered.
for
grasshoppers and
shits and giggles.
A friend got them and dared me to eat them, and I was like, all right.
And
was
did he
not-
give you $125,000 afterwards?
She unfortunately did not.
She didn't? Were they good, though?
Absolutely.
Was it like Forrest Gump always
They were
described
good?
to us?
No, I mean honestly, well, because they were in chocolate, I didn't really like think cricket when I was eating it. The chocolate kind of covered that out. But
Yeah.
But they didn't get the chocolate covered.
No, they
up.
got that stuff was.
Would that have been the hardest leg for you also,
Oh,
the
yeah.
eating?
Hell yeah.
Now remember that I keep bringing this up because remember the challenge where they had to drink the hot milk in the desert,
Yeah.
That's nasty.
and then they had to shoot like a bow and arrow after chugging the hot milk. So
Yeah.
imagine this
This is bad.
in the heat.
This
Yeah.
is probably the worst part of it.
I mean,
It had
having
to
to
be.
eat all that and then go on that run,
Hey, we got a
We
caller.
got a caller? Who is it?
this sounds like a little spit
Make sure they
thing.
my baby mama. Hey, screen that.
Nehemiah's baby mama. What's going on?
What's
Probably a
wrong with you?
323 number.
Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where are you from?
Okay.
Oh, screw you,
A
too.
little shy.
Messed up.
All right. So basically, you have to collect the sacred golden elephant. Now, go ahead and
Okay.
say what
Yeah,
you
because I couldn't even hold it back. Usually we try not to talk during the episode, but this is something I had to spit out. Okay. what I don't like about these random things that they do sometimes is you have to collect this golden elephant.
Why?
The entire season, we've never heard of a golden elephant. Like, I feel like there should be some sort of a through line. If you have to collect a golden elephant at the end of every single challenge, or if so it was something else that was familiar to the other challenges they've done, like the last thing you have to whack a stick and break it over somebody blindfolded. Just somehow incorporate the season in the final.
Why?
Well,
Because I feel like it's so random. Why the hell do you care about a golden elephant? Who picked elephant?
because they're in Thailand, so
Yeah,
elephants in
yeah,
Thailand.
I get that, but like,
It's about
So-
the place. They don't.
so-
I mean, come on. We're watching people hang from stuff and ask who's the biggest slut in the house, and I don't really think continuity or
Right, but I
trying
wish
to
it
tie
was.
themes together really matters in these type of situations. You know what I mean? Like, it's challenge people.
yeah. So you enjoy? Okay. Oh my God, the elephant. You can buy into that.
Well, I don't
did.
think there's anything that they would have put that I wouldn't have bought into. If they would have put like a book for study, and I'm like, oh, no, I don't think
I
that's
guess they
true.
got to get $5.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
Hey guys, our caller is courageous enough to call back.
All right, caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
Yeah, it's Steamer. What's going on, guys?
Steamer.
Steamer.
I'm so excited to ask you
yeah,
to stump the Steamer question today.
Oh, it's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Steamer, so what did you think of the episode?
I agree with Roxy. It was just kind of like a week challenge. It fits the theme of this whole season, since like all like the jungles I thought would be cool, and there's only like one that was actually anything good. And same thing at the final. It was just pretty underwhelming.
Well, let's go through the challenges, and I want to get everyone's thoughts on each one. So basically, you have to get to a checkpoint.
Right.
When you get the trophy, you have to run around the island, bring it back, and then go to the second checkpoint.
That would have been the hardest part for me, the running around every single time. But I feel like for them, it's almost
It was
a
the
break.
break.
Yeah. Like, oh, I don't have to dig and jump and whatever. I just have to run. Cool.
And I like that they threw little things in, like if you were in the lead, you kind of got stalled up a little bit because you had to open up the challenge. I
Right.
like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
So the first obstacle is 14 spikes with voodoo heads, and this is it's so funny because I feel like they found board games and created all the challenges for the season, because that game, if anyone has ever been to Cracker Barrel, the restaurant,
Yeah, I go weekly.
okay, so you know the little peg game that they have on the table?
Yeah.
Why don't I know what this Cracker Barrel is?
It's what.
I don't know. You should check Cracker Barrel. It's a
Yeah.
bomb
It's
restaurant.
my house at the weekend with all the
It's
white
a
girls
chain?
running around.
It's a chain restaurant? Like, it's in L.A.?
I'm sure.
It's more southern.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Well, no,
it's
they have
not.
them in Massachusetts.
Yes, it's more like on the east,
So when
and
you
not
go
really the
home-
west
Okay.
coast.
Okay.
But this is a game, when you sit down at Cracker Barrel, it's always there. I've become actually pretty good at it. So I was actually, CT knew of the game. I'm surprised he didn't.
Because he's from Boston.
Yeah. But so basically it's that game. Cara Maria was first place with Cook and CT and West.
You got to give it to her. She's wicked good at puzzles.
Mhm.
I mean, the girl pisses me off when I feel like she gives up and isn't that dedicated, but she's really good with puzzles.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was a good start, because
Yeah.
it was like a mind thing. I like that they had mind puzzles, and then you had to do the athletic running and all that.
Right.
The second one was What's Mine Is Yours, which I didn't get that one. They had to cut the obstacle open with it was a chain fence, and you had to figure out the hypotenuse of the triangle.
I was really disappointed in some of these people. I mean, honestly, I know you don't have a pen and I know you don't have paper, and I get under all the pressure and whatnot, but seriously, really, it's not that hard.
Jesse,
it wasn't that hard.
write that same equation down on that piece of paper. See how long it takes her to solve.
I know the answer is 184, so it's not.
I don't even remember what the puzzle was. Steamer, what did you think about this round?
It was just pretty weak. It is telling that only one person could figure out the equation.
Right.
Out of 8 people, only one person knew it.
That was hard. We
Yeah.
don't. When do we do math?
Right.
I guess
Think
that's,
about the last time you solved an equation where you had to figure out what x was.
that's true a little bit, but I feel like when the answer's in front of you, it's easier by process of elimination. You can be like, well, I know it's not that. I know it's not that. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that equation because I remember it, but I guess if you don't remember it, then maybe you'd be screwed.
I haven't been in school in over 10 years.
Yeah.
I guess.
Or
And
even doing equations like that.
In my
even
day-to-day
longer.
life, I'm not. Yeah.
I haven't been in a math class in 8 years.
But see, I would have done exactly what CT did, right in the dirt. I would have used a stick if your finger's too fat. You know what I mean? Like,
And you got it right.
yeah, and he did. So Good job for him.
And then way smarter when you see that somebody's rope's been cut and they got it right because only one rope's cut. And then you look at their answer and you plug it into yours.
And I can't believe only one person even thought
of
to
that.
do that.
Right. That's the other thing. You got to use your brain.
So Karen Cook, CT and West, again, first place. Johnny, his steam was
It's almost like he
running out.
Yeah,
He's getting up there.
Is he out of his prime?
I think he
Looks
might
like
be.
it.
Is he out?
I also
No
just
way.
You said no way.
Seems that way.
Oh,
Oh.
seems, yeah.
I also just think that Frank and Johnny, like, whatever it is, maybe they're friends now, that's fine, but they don't work well together.
Mm-mm.
And that's obviously a huge problem.
Well, you know what's funny is watching it, you see like how everyone interacts with each other. So it was funny to see how Frank interacts with Johnny instead of giving like positive, like, because if you're running and someone's calling you a fat ass, a lazy bitch, like, okay, that's not gonna go in my head in the heat and make me want to do better.
Right.
Whereas Cook, I liked how she was talking to Cara Maria. She was irritated as hell, but she was just trying to give her different ways to do the project. So I don't know. I like.
You have to know your partner and you have to know what works. And obviously, whatever Frank's saying isn't working on Johnny, and whatever Johnny's saying is not working on Frank. Like, the two of them just didn't get there.
But Frank is also spoiled because he had Zach on the last.
That's
challenge,
true.
Who Zach is the one yelling at Frank to hurry up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So then we get to the third obstacle, which is
This body bag.
the
Oh, no, the
no,
food
the
one. The
food
food
and
one.
liquid. And
Ew.
it was chilies, pickled fish,
Pickled
fish soup, maggots, squid, a fruit called durian, and I think there was one other thing, but it was just so funny because I actually just went to Garden Grove, which is like Southern California, and it's a big Vietnamese area. And I was in the grocery stores and I saw almost everything on this list.
So you're saying it's racist? If they were Asian, they would have been able to eat that, huh?
Yeah, honestly, because
So long,
I tried the durian fruit this past weekend. They had like what 12 chilies on there.
Yeah, the chilies is hard too because honestly, I was at a Mexican restaurant this weekend. I turned to the waiter and I said, "Give me literally the spiciest thing you have in here to make my mouth on fire to the point where I want to vomit." And he came back and handed me like this thing of pickled chilies, and I had 2 of them and I was crying. So like,
I think it was smart to start with the chilies though, because you kind of burn all that down.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you could, if they were smart, they would have ate the chilies with all of the other stuff, like eat a chili blah, blah, blah,
With
blah,
the
blah.
squid.
you think so?
That's
I
what
think if you
would've
eat a
done.
chili after you eat food, you're vomiting it all right up.
After you eat food, no, you eat it with
With.
the food.
Mhm.
So you take a dried squid, and you take
Oh,
a chili, pop them in
I
your mouth
see what
together.
you're saying
kinda
because you're
numbs it.
calming the chili.
Mhm.
And your
Kinda
mouth
numbs
is
it.
so hot, I would think
Yeah.
you'd be able to down that.
Right.
Although I mean,
But how do you put the chili in the pickled fish soup?
No, you eat
You
the
bite
chili
the
first,
chili-
and then eat all of that stuff. Instead of eating all of the chilies right then and there, mix it up, make
Yeah,
like a little,
okay.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
I can't.
I
I mean,
could
that's
buy
a hard
into that, but,
strategy. That's a hard. That's as soon as I saw this stuff, I was like, and I'm a vegetarian, so I don't even know where that will play in. Like eating.
Well, that's the problem right there.
yeah, it's like,
And then all the throwing up, I can imagine what that place
Oh,
smelled
man.
like.
I've never seen that much vomit. And honestly, they
CT throwing up was my favorite.
they had to be giving them water. Okay, but that's where you see CT seriously a vet and completely pulled through. Because Wes looked at him and goes, I can't do this right now, CT. He couldn't finish his portion. And CT, instead of like getting pissed, instead of whatever, CT looked at him and said, "No problem, brother," and took it down for him. And like that's when you know somebody wants to win the money. He's not going to fight with you. He's not going to push you. He's just going to do it himself.
Well, see, I would have wanted Paula as my partner because apparently, I don't
She
know, she
downed
doesn't have a gag reflex or what the situation is.
perfect
'cause
woman.
She had her mouth open and Emily was just
like-
literally stuffing everything in her mouth.
Why you look at me like that, baby?
Yeah, okay, whatever. But
Come on,
Cara,
baby.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Cara Marie's the one who's always like, I don't have a gag reflex. I can deal with pain. Da, da, da. You're a wimp. She's been so wimpy in all these, and here she's like, da, da, da. Like,
Started crying.
right.
But
And
that
honestly,
she gave us a great fit. It was the perfect fit.
and who am I to talk? Maybe
I
I would
would
have done the
be
same
that
thing. I
for-
could have
I
done
would-
the
I
exact
would've
same
right there.
thing.
I would have cried too. I
I'm
would have
like,
said Indian
Jesus,
style and cried.
please.
I would have
Would
been
you,
done.
even though you're a vegetarian, would you have eaten the worms and all that?
Yeah. 125,000. Yeah.
It's nature.
Oh yeah, I would have went in.
Wow.
So
Especially, and if I was in the lead.
right.
Oh yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would have been real tough for me. CT and West got first place again. Paula and Emily get back in the lead. They get to number 4, which is called body issues. They had to cut a chain lock. And it's 20 body bags. They have to move them to the other side of the field and then dig and get this box with the trophy in it.
Right.
You know, Johnny and Frank, as slow as they were to get to that challenge, I mean, they caught up pretty quickly. At one point, it was 16.
16,
they had
18.
16, yeah, 16, 18.
Out of 20.
So,
Yeah, that was very impressive, and I think that's when pure like will to go on takes over.
yeah, I think it
Which
lit a
is
fire
why-
under CT and Wes's ass.
Right.
Yeah, because West has slowed down. I think
Mhm.
that's around the time when West has slowed down.
Right.
That
I
would have
think
been my favorite one.
that's one of those things where if you want it that bad, you're gonna keep going no matter how much pain you're in. And I just felt like Cook wanted it that bad, and Cara Maria didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Also, I mean, it's also heavy. Yeah, of course. And I think it's unfair. I asked you if you thought it was probably the same amount of weight for the guys and girls.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah. And just like, I know when you're that tired after carrying something, like your arms feel like jello. There's a point where you physically feel like you cannot lift it any further.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I felt like there are different methods. Like they started dragging, whatever. I just never want to hear anybody be like, oh, I can't do this.
I mean, I don't think it got to the point. Like Cook did say, you know, Cara Maria, we never stopped. We kept pushing forward. But I mean, think about it. Who knows what the temperature was there?
How
Right.
long it took them?
I mean,
there's
and
so
not
much
that,
time.
you
Well,
just
you see
ate
the sun
all this.
come up and down, so hours.
You ate all this shit, threw it all up, so you could be dehydrated. Like, and then after you threw it all up, you had to run, put the trophy back, then run around the damn island again. Like,
yeah,
It's not fun.
it's honestly got to be one of those experiences. Like, as much as I was saying the other challenges the last 2 years I enjoyed watching more, this one probably was just as difficult on the body. And it has to be one of those out-of-body experiences where you are telling yourself, like, you're not a real person at this point.
right.
So, yeah, once you eat all that, throw it all up, I've been running miles and miles around this island, and it's so hot, you're not a real person. So that's where I feel like your mental state has to kick in and
That's
just
the point of the
keep pushing.
finals.
Right.
That's the point. They
Right.
they get you to that point to where you just have to robotically shut down your brain and just go into
Do it.
action.
Right.
Yeah.
Nike.
I mean, Big E almost died on ours.
Oh,
on
yeah?
our final. Like, it's real in the field.
Steamer, what did you think of the body bag situation?
I think that was my favorite part of the final, just because the previous 3 were like all puzzles, and I figured like they're dumbing it down so like Cara would have a chance, and she's like the weakest one out of them. But I'm glad they put something where it required like actual energy and strength to complete. So I think it helped make Emily and Paula give them the lead in command, so they could win, which they deserved.
Do you guys think that the first 3 challenges were weak, though?
I don't think any of them were weak, really.
I think the last one was
It wasn't
weak.
that I
The
thought
fifth
it-
one.
I don't think he's saying like that. I just think that this challenge really showed that the strongest team won, not the the strongest team, the team who had the most in them, as opposed to the other ones where.
But you have to be. Go ahead, Steamer.
I mean, yeah, they weren't like, I didn't mean like weak per se. I mean, they're actual challenges, but the way that it lined up in order, it just seemed like puzzle, math problem, eating. I mean, I want to see like dragging stuff and carrying it through the desert, like lifting weight on their back, like something like that. And I felt this little leg of it was the most that encompasses that, like in terms of like lifting and like just sheer strength.
Yeah. But I mean, also at the same time, it's like you have to be a strong person to be running around an island 3 times and to be able to sit there and focus on doing a puzzle, doing mathematics. Like,
It's hard.
It
Hey,
is
you
hard.
ever move a body?
I mean, I don't want to talk about that right
You
now.
know what I
but-
mean? So do you know? You know what I mean? Baltimore, we didn't. Yeah, it's real. Moving one body is hard. You know what I mean? Try moving 20.
You guys are
The
too
most
much
we
for
done
me.
done is 6.
You know, sorry guys, Nehemiah's on this Dexter thing right now. All right, so then we get to
Like,
number
I
5,
can't.
tunnel
I just
vision.
can't. What?
We out here, baby.
We'll tell you after the show.
I'll tell you after the show.
I'm glad you wore
That's
black.
all I got
Checked
to say.
out.
That's all I got to
Checked
say
out.
about that.
Glad you wore black tonight.
That's black.
I think it's green. Leave me alone.
Well, wait, all right, so some of you guys are tweeting us right now. If you guys want to call in, it's 424-256-1633. If you want to call in, 424-256-1633. So the 5th one, this really irritated me.
Yeah.
It really irritated me because it was just like, you see the other challenges.
Tunnel
they have
vision.
to run up the damn
Hill.
Fiji Mountain. Like, it's crazy.
What's the biggest ditch you've ever done in sand with your hands?
No, but it
Because
wasn't
I'm
that
gonna tell you,
big.
that little mound alone is hard.
What are you talking about? It wasn't that deep.
Yeah, it wasn't really
It was
that
deep enough for it to be. I'm telling you, digging in, like, because we had to dig in sand for our final, and it doesn't look as hard as it is, but
Okay, but isn't that the whole point? This is a TV show, so it should look as hard as it is. That should be their job the entire time, doing things that look as hard as they are.
Okay, here's why I say this. Honestly, to me, what would have been gangster of this is if they had to dig literally
the whole way through.
the whole way through. And
That would've been tight.
here's why. Because think about the other seasons. The final like goes into the night and then the next day. This was a 1 day thing. And who knows, maybe they shot it in 2 days and they just made it look like that. But it was just like to dig to a trap door and then you're there and you just reach through.
And they
the
also have
bamboo.
4 people. Well, like 2 people. A lot of times with the challenges, you have more. Like, because we had to dig 6 feet looking for the flag, like, for the last one.
But you think
That's
this
a
looks
big
6
place.
feet? I feel
No,
like
not
No,
even
it
close.
looked off
Not even
foot.
close, but we barely, like, they gave us a shovel.
You're saying it looked like it was 1 day, but honestly, I know that you guys aren't allowed to drink during the finals or during any of the challenges, and we saw them on the yacht having their little glasses of champagne or whatever that was. So
Well, that was after the.
Oh,
no,
no.
I think there was a 2-day challenge.
yeah.
As far as like the first mini challenge.
mini
and
challenge
everything.
and then this. There
But
was
that
definitely
doesn't count to me because I mean the challenges in the past episode they never did that mini
Right,
challenge thing.
right. I know what you mean.
Steamer, what you think of the last one, Tunnel Vision?
I agree with you guys. I just thought it was underwhelming again. It just you want to see like that visual of them like climbing a mountain, like going in the desert, and this didn't give you that visual.
All right, I think we have a caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hey guys, what's up? It's Jordan.
What's going on, Jordan? What did you think of the episode?
I was kind of feeling Roxy, like what she was talking about was, like I didn't thought there was like a big thing at the end. Like I kind of felt like we were leading up towards something at the end, and it just like didn't come there.
Yeah. Did you like the fact? I mean, I know we're gonna get into the reunion in a second. Did you like the idea of the reunion being live?
Yeah, like I feel like it was a good thing that it was live. 'Cause, I mean, it was kind of awkward a little bit. Like I guess that's just like what happens when things are live, but I feel like we saw things that we wouldn't have seen had it not been a live reunion. Like there would have been like a lot of stuff that was edited out.
Mm-hmm.
Like CT getting smart with the host and whatnot.
Right.
It was really awkward. I was like, I can't stop watching, but I kind of want to.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in a little.
What was your favorite part of either the episode or the reunion?
Well, I thought the reunion was pretty good because it was just like more lively, I guess. Like I kind of knew that watching the whole episode, like I knew that CT and West were going to win because they did not stop or slow down at all.
Right.
I kind of knew that at the food part that was probably going to be where like Cook and Carmaria lost their lead. So I mean, it was kind of predictable for me. But like you said earlier, I agreed with like I like how the leaders had to like open up the fence or like they had to open up the challenge. I thought that was a neat twist. But I feel like we need to get some new people in the office and kind of like get some more ideas going because I don't know, it just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't what I expected, I guess.
All right. Well, Jordan, what's your Twitter handle?
You guys can hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at @TheRealJordanH.
At the Real Jordan H. All right, Jordan, thanks for calling in. And we'll talk to you next season.
Thank you, Jordan.
All right.
Yeah, no problem. Talk to you later. Bye.
Roxy
cool.
got gangster at this. All right, that's cool. I like it. With the green black sweater.
Am I dope?
No, you killing it.
You're dope.
Oh, cool.
So CT and Wes win. Johnny and Frank got second place. Paul and Emily win. Cook and Cara Maria get second place.
As deserved, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it ended up the way it should have ended up.
Okay, CT and Wes, I feel like they built this up for them to win. But like Paul and Emily,
That's true.
there was a part of me that kind of wanted Cook and Cara, like the underdogs. Right.
Right,
I
you
would have
don't
felt
want
really
Yeah.
good if CT and Wes won because like, all right, fine, CT wins
Get
one
it out the
finally.
way.
Yeah. But Cook and Cara Maria, like to come from everyone ganging up on them in the house to
At the same time, we know that Emily hasn't won a challenge either, and she's the toughest girl on the show. I mean, yes, it's only her third as opposed to CT's 25th, but I still think it was well deserved. And yeah, I think that Cook and Cara Maria were the underdogs, and they worked really hard for it, and they were thrown in the jungle as opposed to Paul and Emily, who were never thrown in the jungle. So I think that if Cara Marie and Cook had won, I wouldn't have said, wow, that's messed up. But I think it did end up the way it should have.
There you guys have it. If you guys want to help us out, you guys can go to iTunes at AfterBuzz TV and check out the Challenge podcast. Download, rate, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Also, make sure you guys check out the Adventures of Serial Buddies, a show created by the creators of AfterBuzz TV. Not only can you guys purchase it on iTunes, but it's in stores nationwide.
Like everywhere.
The Adventures of Serial Buddies.
Yeah, amazing.
All right, let's get into this damn reunion.
I kind of feel like saying, like, do we have to? That's how I felt about the reunion. I'm really happy that Jordan liked it, and maybe there are a lot of people out there that really did. But I just feel like usually you guys film the reunions in what, like 6-hour chunks? And there's a reason for that, because there's so much stuff that happens, and then they want to take those 6 hours and get the best 1 hour of it. And instead, I feel like we got 1 hour of meh.
Really? Okay.
That was meh.
I feel like it. Yeah, I mean, first, my thing is I just don't like the challenge reunions. I
was thinking that too. The more we started, I was like, yeah, it ain't really too much.
That must be true, because I think I've said that about every single reunion, and I never say that about the episodes, but the reunion.
But it's like you guys know each other, you know. It's like, and how many months afterwards? It's like
half of the people are richer. You know what I mean? It's just like you go in there, especially if you win, you don't give you don't give a fuck. Sorry, Mom. But you go in there when I won, I was on there like, man, I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. Nehemiah, I'm like, yeah, I'm rich though, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, that's West. That's how you see West. You're not going to get a lot of the controversy that you want. But I think by making it live, at first I didn't like it, but now I'm thinking about it because I really don't like the reunions that much. It kind of made it go by faster.
Yeah, and here, backing off that, I did like the fact it was live only because you've been to the reunion, so 6 hours.
Boring.
Right, and then your energy's drained, and it's like they're cutting and pacing so much because it's like, well, yeah, you know, Nehemiah in the third hour wasn't giving us anything because he's tired. Okay. We can't feed them more alcohol.
We're faded. Yep. Half the people don't want to be up there that long. Half the people there, the whole show's about them anyway. So you're sitting down here being asked questions about these people. You don't care. It's like, I'm a grown man. I don't really care about what he's feeling right now outside of this show or his love life. It's like, no, I don't care. It's like, I'm getting paid. I'm chilling. That's why you see the people in the back and they just kind of just post up because they've been sitting there and it's just like, this is their show. So sometimes it's like, well, we just invite them. Right. You know what I mean? Like, if you're only going to talk to them, it's like, let's ask this person what you think about these people. It's like,
okay, let me give you a specific example, though, of what I think would have been better had it not been live. So the CT argument with the host and with DM, when it was CT and DM in the hot seat. And CT gets in this big argument and, you know, in very typical CT fashion is like, oh, well, what are you trying to do here? What are you trying to do here? And yes, it was funny, but he didn't answer the question. And every audience member wants to know, are CT and DM together? They're not, but I know that.
Well, she said that. Didn't she say she was in a relationship?
No, that was Camilla about Johnny. But you know, I think people actually want these questions answered. So CT can do his own thing, and he can keep making these jokes, and everybody loves CT, so everybody's heart kind of swoons, and they're like, whatever, he can get away with it. But these questions are questions for a reason, and CT wouldn't let DM speak. And DM, who's already been named the enemy of the season, doesn't want to step on his toes because she doesn't want to cause any more drama. So I just feel like a lot of times, and you heard CT, what did he say? Why he could do that? He goes, this is live. You can't do shit about it, you know?
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think we would have got that. I think MTV either prepped CT for that kind of a situation, or CT is smart enough to know if I sit here and say me and DM are not together on the next challenge,
people know
I can't play that role.
Yeah,
right.
It's open-ended.
Right, but he didn't even say. He just said, "Mind your business," like that. Like,
but you're still talking about it, and that's going to be one of the most talked about.
I guess that's true.
We don't know.
Right.
But I feel like there were other questions that they asked them.
I just personally don't care. I'm just so over CT and DM after this.
Can we talk about the slap though? See, if it wasn't live, my man's probably wouldn't have the balls to slap him like that.
You think so?
Yep, absolutely.
I think so. I think he was like, yo, this is live. They can't take it out. They can't edit it out. I'm going to slap him.
You think they would have edited it out?
I think.
No way.
It
They
all depends.
definitely would have put it in
But
there.
he may not have even done it.
Yeah, that might be true, but he definitely did not do it because he wouldn't have thought they were going to edit it out. That's gold.
He got a little. Well, it is and it is.
He got a little cocky.
Yeah, it was like it's live, so I can go in here. I can do what I want.
You think he went in there knowing he was going to do that, or
I think he went in there knowing he was going to do something?
Okay.
Because especially
He's
when you're a rookie,
scum.
you
He
just
seems
sit
like
back.
scum.
Well, he looked high as hell. He looked
They were all
drunk
faded.
or whatever.
They were all faded.
But it all started because Johnny asked. Oh, he read a tweet that Frank tweeted out, and it said, "No one on the cast has the balls to say anything to my face." And then Knight gets up and he calls him a bitch. He says, "You're not even a man, and if you ever said anything, I should break your jaw."
Mm-hmm. He tried.
I'm so sick of
Can I
this
just say though,
stuff.
if you're gonna call someone a bitch, I mean, I've seen worse on Bad Girls Club, and it's the same production company. But like, if you're gonna call someone a bitch, don't slap them.
I disagree.
Really?
If you's a bitch, you get bitch slapped.
Oh,
I just am so sick of this stuff where people on social media tell it to my face. You're so fake.
and
Da,
he
da, da,
did.
da. Like, I don't care.
And
I
he
don't
did.
care about any of it. Like, I don't care that he's my friend. Frank, if you are so sick of all the drama about this stuff, stop tweeting. Stop calling people out. Just stop doing everything to every single one of you who's like, oh my God, it sucks. Everybody hates whatever. Just like ignore it. And of course, easier said than done. But the more you put things out there, the more people are going to attack you. And I don't care.
and
Like,
also, with Frank, it's kind of like, and I get it.
That's to all of them, not just to Frank.
No, yeah, but with Frank especially, and I get it because it's like obviously in the moment you're irritated and you're watching the episode and it's just like it's so easy to pick up the phone and just say what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But if you did that and you're going into this and then Johnny asked you the question, be as rah as you were.
You were, right.
On the thing, because to me it was like Frank was acting either two ways: one, scared, or two, which I don't think Frank was scared, but two, kind of like, well, yeah, I'm over it and I don't care about it. Well, now this man's in your face, so now he made you look like a punk on national television.
Really? I don't think that at all. You think that Knight made Frank look like a punk? I think that Knight looked like a jackass and Frank looked like he kept his cool.
Knight made himself look like a jackass, absolutely, but he also punked Frank.
I don't think so.
He got the taste slapped out of him. He said, excuse me, guys. This was commercial break. He said, pardon me. And he had to,
get and walk
he had to go
upstage.
gather
You guys
himself.
really think so? I think that was one of the most mature things that he could have done. Like, sat there and was like, all right.
It could go either ways. One, it could go either ways. One, it could be like, I'm not about to get my ass whooped on national television.
There is no way that is what he was thinking.
How you know?
Because you think he really was going to stand up and punch him back? No, he was
I
thinking.
think that if it was somebody who he was almost certain that he would have beat up, he probably would have stood up.
Look
and
at
done
Knight.
something.
Look at Knight. Frank would kill him.
But I don't think Knight would have even slapped Frank if Frank stood up.
Yeah.
Honestly, if Frank stood up, the reason Knight slapped him was like, "You're a bitch. I'm standing up in your face."
We had two
you
bitch
said no one has the balls to say anything to my face, so I'm standing up as a man. I'm in your face, and you're just gonna sit there and
Right.
I just
That's
completely
understandable.
disagree. I disagree.
And I see your
But
point.
I do.
I definitely see your point, how he stood there and he took it and, he kept his poise and all that. That's very mature. Yes.
I also feel like this production company changes the rules every 2 seconds. You're saying that if you have an open hand
This
slap.
is for Bad Girls. I
For
don't
Bad
know.
Girls Club, if you have an open hand slap, is that what it's called? Open hand? Then you can slap somebody and not get kicked off. But as soon as it's a fist, if it's a fist and if it's anywhere near the face, then you get kicked off. So I think that sometimes, as Mark Long always tells us, they change the rules on the show like that. Like, all of a sudden, you'll be doing a challenge, and then they'll be like, oh, by the way, there's a penalty if da-da-da-da-da, like, they'll just throw
This
things in
is
there.
different.
So, like, no, I feel like they don't know exactly, like, am I going to get kicked off? Am I going to lose pay cut if I slap him back, if I stand up, if I hit him? How do I know when it goes too far? Like, I think that
I do see that
they're
part of
scared
it.
of that because...
But the reunions are different than the show. They're different. On the reunions, I'm not really sure as far as what the fight rules are, but they're obviously not as strict.
That's the point.
Well,
You're
they're
not sure
but
what
they
the
are
rules
stricter
are.
with you guys than
They're
they are
way
Bad Girls.
stricter with
Bad
us.
Girls Club,
we
they
can't
want
open
that,
hand.
yeah.
We can't open hand. We
That's
can't
all.
do that.
Well, and that's funny because Bad Girls Club you can, but this show, you notice Knight never came back to the set.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, he never came back. Like, he was barely discussed.
But do we blame production for that? Because why would you sit Frank and Knight right next to each
production
other?
got what they wanted.
Yeah.
But Knight never came back, but you know who did was Frank because he wasn't kicked off.
He was the
Because
victim.
he didn't hit.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
which
he's
is
the victim.
which
He
is
was
the
the
smart
victim.
move.
But look, hold on. This is so let's just play devil's advocate. Hey, You's a bitch, Jesse. Blah, 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 blah. Now Jesse standing up in my face, and he's like, talk all that shit you was talking before. No, I'm just kind of, no, talk all that stuff you was talking, no, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's just being immature. So you're going to sit here, talk all this mess.
You
now
instigate
you
it.
instigate it. Now when they stand up in your face, now it's a different situation because you're not on your phone. You got someone right here breathing right in your face. So... oh, I'm over it now. Yeah, because it's real.
Had that fight been not on television and in a bar, perhaps,
Frank would have went nuts. I
Yeah.
believe that. I believe it would have been. Actually, I would love to see that.
Right, absolutely. But I think that it was mature of him on national television to not go back at him.
Well, I want to hear what the Steamer has to say about that. Steamer, what did you think of that little bitch slap?
Do we even know if that was real? Because everything Frank does is like just so calculated. I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth, any of his actions on these shows. He just comes across as just phony in general. And this, I think I agree with Roxy. Like, he had no intention of swinging back, and that was the right move for him because he wants to make it seem like he's this changed, mature person. So he can't just get out of his seat and start going. He's moved on, but nice to one still living in the past.
Oh, but he jumped in Jordan's face on the show, though.
Frank.
Yeah. Oh, he jumped in Jordan's because there's no fighting. There's no fighting there.
He's moved on. Like, he's mature.
Also, they all drink before these shows, and I know that Frank's not drinking right now, so maybe that is what the sobriety held him back.
No, this is what it is. Half the people on there talk shit, but when it comes down to it, they are scared. That's all it is. That's all it boils down to. Frank ain't about that life. Half of those guys are not about that life, but when you got people standing in front of you, you know you can't fight. You're going to act as hard as you can.
Well, do they give you guys warnings too? Like,
you think Knight's about that life? Like, Knight's some tough guy? No, he's a bitch too.
I'm not talking about Knight directly because personally that was the only time I've actually ever even seen him on TV, so I really don't know anything about Knight at all. I just saw him slap a dude. You know what I mean? That's all I saw. So I'm just speaking just from experience because when me and Evan got into it, it was a whole different ball game. When we sitting across from each other, I'm like, you said you could beat me up. Well, we here. People start putting their head down. You know what I mean?
Frank and Knight both aren't.
Right. So you get that when people talk mess and then when it's serious. So Frank ain't about to. Especially, man, Frank was nervous. I was nervous for Frank. I felt his nervousness.
I think all of us were kind of just sitting there like
I
rubbing
felt
our
nervous.
thighs,
I don't know if
when
he was.
Stood up, I was like, oh, it's going down. Since he stood up, I was like, yeah, I could feel it. He got something to prove.
Wait, but I really felt like Frank was gonna stand up. I was really shocked that he didn't. I was really shocked.
If anything, Emily would have kicked Knight's ass.
Oh yeah.
Emily would have whooped his ass.
Production was out there so fast though that I could barely even tell what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, because they've been getting lawsuits.
Or because that shit was planned, and they knew it was coming.
That definitely would. They would never, ever, ever set us up to fight.
Yeah. See, Bad Girls is just so different than the challenge and what they want from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish they would set that up, but they would. They are so strict when it comes to fighting,
especially with dudes, because
that's a big liability for them, especially
because if they fought, they could have hurt Cara Maria right there, Emily. They could
the host,
the
fans right there. They could have hurt themselves. That's an insurance liability. Like, it's just too much. It's because we're like, when you do Bad Girls Club, first of all, you go in there as a nobody.
Right.
We're all established people. So, like, you're dealing with real talent right now. Like, we all have names. We all have careers. Like, we're all known. We're not just 6 random people on a stage. So, it's a little different, you know? It's like, no, that's CT. That's West. That's, like, we're all established. So, you're going to take every precaution that you can.
Well, do you think did they show an actual audience?
Mm-hmm.
One
quick shot.
Out,
right?
yeah.
One shot. It's usually live audiences, though. Yeah.
I figured they might have been a little scared with the live.
Oh, with the live show?
The live show.
Did you guys, I mean, we did hear from everybody, but was there anybody you guys wanted to hear from more that we really didn't?
Marlon.
Yeah.
Honestly, actually, I was upset Cook wasn't there. No, you said like Cook was out of the country.
Yeah,
I love Cook. I think she's my favorite player in the game this season. I love Cook.
I would have liked someone. I mean, I think it's really interesting, the whole Johnny versus Cara Maria situation. I don't really fully get it.
Jealousy.
You think he's jealous of her?
Yeah.
Why? But what?
Because Cara Maria came out of nowhere and became a big character. You know, so it's just like, who is this girl? She comes on the challenges late. She makes it all the way to the end, coming late. Like, everyone talks about it. Everyone feels bad for her, so she gets a lot of fans.
She's definitely hot.
She's definitely hot. So
yeah.
it's like, and he probably can't get none. So that'll create some type of jealousy inside of a man.
It's funny that you said that about, playing the victim card.
You are so far off with what you just said.
Why?
Talking about Johnny?
Oh, yeah.
That he can't get none?
From her.
Oh, my God.
From her.
From Cara Maria?
That was so far off. I don't think he wants to touch her with a 10-foot pole.
Why would you say
Why?
that?
She's beautiful.
She is. I said she's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. She doesn't see. I don't know. Do you see any sort of sparks there? Like, not all guys want to hook up with every girl that's
When you
good
was in
looking.
kindergarten and the fat boy used to pick on you, what did it mean?
Is Johnny the fat boy?
No, but he's picking on. Anytime I feel like a grown man is picking on a woman, it's either one is because he wants her and can't get her, or two.
How is he picking on her? I feel like she's giving it to him just much
Even
as
he
he's
told
giving it to her.
everyone not to clap when she came out. Like, you go through that lengths as a grown man.
Yeah.
When this little girl comes out, nobody on the stage clap.
They said TJ said not to clap.
No, I heard Johnny.
No,
That's
Johnny.
what Anissa
TJ's
said.
not even there.
What do you mean?
And why would TJ say that?
You are so far off.
All right, what did you guys think about Diem and the whole Jemmy situation? Diem said, I acted like that because I was on steroids. I was going through menopause.
I act like that when I'm on steroids too, and when I'm menopausing. So I feel
Pocket
it, baby.
protein,
Pocket
people.
protein.
Pocket
Okay.
protein.
Here's the thing. You look like the asshole if you say anything bad about Diem, because Diem was going through all the stuff. She had just finished chemo. She had all these hormone shots and everything. And that needs to be taken into consideration 100%. Nobody can discredit, nobody can say that's not changing her mood or that means nothing. Obviously it means something. But at the same time, I do think she uses that as if I were her, I would just say, I was wrong. You don't look at her and she doesn't say, I was really wrong. That being said, I felt all these things, but looking at that girl looks crazy and I was wrong. She doesn't take ownership, I feel like sometimes.
Again, I could agree with that side. For instance, had she approached it like, look, guys, I was fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Instead of going into the crying and all of that, you don't know what it's like.
Right.
So it's different to approach like.
I also thought it was interesting when she started crying, Cara Maria put her hand on her, and then Lisa was like, you can go sit back where you were sitting. And I thought I caught that little side situation.
Like, no, this is our moment to get some of Diem's light.
Right. I want this sad story too. Again, Diem playing the victim, or I don't remember writing if I wrote that rap about Nani. How?
Right, just say,
I wrote it.
you know what? I bet
bitch.
I wrote it and I was going through stuff and I messed up, guys.
Yeah.
Or I didn't mess up. Who cares? It's a rap. Who cares? Who could know?
Diem and CT, Johnny started asking him about their relationship. CT starts flipping it on Johnny, which I'm like, Johnny, as a host, you really letting this man play you right
Oh my God.
He was nervous.
Okay, I thought he did a great job hosting for a lot of the episode, which you might not have agreed with, but I really thought he did a good job. You never let the players take over the game. That's your job. He completely lost control. Mm-hmm. Although with CT, it's very hard to gain back control.
But he could have flipped it in a whole nother way.
Right.
Or made Diem, fully talk about it.
Right.
But then as soon as CT put his arm around Diem, there goes Diem in puppet mode like, yes, massa. Mind your business.
She's like a Stepford wife.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of that made me sad.
She wanted to talk so bad. She looked so uncomfortable over there.
I thought Anissa.
Any guy did that to me, I'd be like, shut up.
If he did what? No guy better not be doing that to you.
Anissa talking about Trash Shell, I thought that was a
please.
weak conversation. I thought Anissa. I feel like everyone was too PC towards the end. Because then we even got Jordan talking about hooking up with John A., Sarah, and Emily. That was weird and awkward. It wasn't juicy enough.
I thought that was weird because we didn't see anything about Jordan and Emily the whole time. So I wish we could.
He talked about how he liked how athletic she was and all that.
Yeah, that's true. I just wish some of the things were elaborated on more, like the Marlon thing.
Like
the Jordan
Marlon
thing.
not talking about the fact that he boop in the pool with Derek. Like they focused more on Nani than they did with Derek. I can't with that. All right.
See,
and that was
this is one of the issues with the reunions, though. See, it was underwater though.
It was.
Yeah. See the problem with the reunion, it has a positive effect and it has a negative effect. the negative effect is that so much time passes in between the challenge and them shooting the reunion.
Right.
So if you are upset about something, you've had a lot of time to not even care, especially if you made it that far, especially if you've gotten called for reunions and all this because you've made more money.
And a lot of them already know if they're going on the next challenge.
Already know.
So then they're like...
They're chilling right now. Half of those are probably going on the next challenge. They got another paycheck coming. They're chilling. They're not worried about this old stuff. So that's one of the issues with having it so far. One of the good issues is that you have people like Knight who sometimes don't make it far or something, so they walk around the house building up all this shit that they want to say, and then when the reunion comes, like, oh, this is my time to just burst. So it's we got everyone just chill because these are all veterans and everyone there made money. Right. So it's just like, we don't care.
Well, I mean, so overall, loved the reunion, hated it.
Hated it.
I thought the season was good. I thought the season was good.
Yeah, Steamer.
I want the Stump the Steamer question though.
I don't know. Do we have time for the Stump the Steamer question?
Pretty lackluster, and I thought the reunion was actually pretty good. Like, I had very low expectations for Johnny Mosley as the host, considering his live. And I remember watching on Saturday Live back in the day, and he was atrocious. And he did pretty well here. So outside of the CT interview, so I thought the reunion is good, somewhat made up for the awful season.
All right. So before we go, Steamer, are you ready? Stump the Steamer. All right, ready? Name all 5 people Sarah G. from Road Rules Campus Crawl eliminated on the first season of The Gauntlet.
Ooh.
That is so hard.
And that is so
Let's give them 3 of 5.
All right. I mean, if you can even guess one.
You a gangster.
5 people
Don't
Sarah
be
G.
Googling it.
Eliminated
No, he's not.
on the first season of The
that.
Gauntlet.
I'm trying to remember the first season of The Gauntlet.
I think Steamer might have been stumped.
I'll give you a hint. 2 of them were from real world New Orleans.
Holla.
No lie.
1 was from Las Vegas.
Singing David.
David is 1. Can you name another one?
His boyfriend?
Trishelle.
Yeah, Trishelle. There you go. All right, so you got 2. Can you name one more? And if you get 3, then we'll give you the whole thing. There's still another one from New Orleans. There's one from Real World back to New York. Actually, there's 2 from Las Vegas.
Matt.
Congratulations.
Damn, you bought that life.
Shout out to Stephen Sanders for that Stump the Steamer question. We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with us all season long. Shout out to Mark Long and Nicolette Gaona for not being here. Thanks, guys.
Pocket Protein.
Make sure you guys check out Pocket Protein, AfterBuzz TV, The Adventures of Serial Buddies. You guys can follow us at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You guys can keep the conversation going with us until the next Real World. You can talk to me at DJ Jesse J.
At Roxy Striar.
NehemiahC.com.
And Steamer.
At the Steamer.
At the Steamer. Until next season. of The Real World.
2014.
Yeah.
Oh.
And where is it?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Same time. Well, I don't even know what time or what place. Peace.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.